Give me a verse from Bad Bunny to sing to my wife
Oh my goodness.
on her birthday.
This is Vivian Villacis.
And this is Raul Villacis.
Welcome to the God, Money, and Purpose podcast.
Okay, welcome to the God, Money, and Purpose podcast, the GMP podcast. I'm here with my queen, Vivian Villacis.
Yes, excited to be here.
So today we have a show prepared for you guys. We're going to review the AI that's out there. So you know what the AI is?
The
Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So you and I went out this past weekend for skiing. Went to a skiing resort. And we were talking about how, like, back in the days, we didn't have technology. We didn't have technology, so there was more connection.
That's right.
And we ended up spending 3 days in this cabin. They had a beautiful, like, setup with PlayStation. They had a beautiful setup with TVs. They had beautiful, like, Oculus, virtual reality. The kids were busy. We were busy. But at the end, we felt exhausted because we feel like we didn't spend time with each other.
There was a lot of stuff happening, and I think like our intention was to come away from the busyness of life and just spend a little bit of time with our kids and our family. And when we were there, it was so funny because on the last day, I was like what? It took so much out of just the preparation, the being there. You know, obviously you went skiing with the kids and you do a lot with them, but we really had to be mindful of like, okay, where's our time together?
You know, and I think that a lot of us, we forget that technology is supposed to help us connect, and technology sometimes separates us. We had a conversation yesterday because I have an app where we track our habits with my guys, right?
Right.
And we have this scoreboard where we have to show love, and every time that we show love, we give ourselves a point. Right. And I showed you my app and I said, hey, look, I'm kicking ass on the show love. I'm kicking ass on telling that my kids I love them. And your feel was like, hey, I don't feel that you show love sometimes. I don't feel like you're appreciating what I do.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I do feel like you showed me a lot of love and attention, but I wouldn't say like you shouldn't give yourself the point all the time, because is it really, like, would I give you the point if you asked me? Some days probably not, because you're not showing love the way that I need to feel the love. And I think that's a big difference between men and women. And I've often, like, we had this conversation and I tell you, like, there should be like a little space in the app where the women could chime in and say like, yes, he deserves a point, or no, he doesn't, or here's my feedback. Because what you think, you're giving yourself the point. Maybe that's not what I'm in agreement with. Maybe I didn't feel the love and you think like you're showing me love. The reason why I say that, it's because I had a conversation with one of the women in the program, and, her husband has given her everything when it comes to like gifts, showing love through gifts. So if you haven't, picked up the book from Gary Chapman, he talks about the 5 love languages. And one of the love languages is gifts, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. And, she was getting a lot of gifts and maybe some acts of service in there, but that's not her love language. So he is probably given her his love language. And when I said, my dear queen, like, you have to get clear and ask them exactly what you need. Like, I need more of quality time. I need more of my physical touch. And she said, yeah, like, you're right. I have to be very clear as to what I want and ask for it. We often forget to do that. Now, we're talking about, technology and how it could bring us closer, possibly, in our relationship, because that's what I was talking about. Like, we, Raul and I have been married for 23 years. And I think like these topics are like, it never ends. It never gets old, because relationships are like our biggest teachers. And if we're going to use technology for our benefit, like, I would say there's so many things that could be a blessing to our relationship, yet we don't know how to use it the right way.
And I think that you and I we do a great job with our kids having dinner and putting the phone away, putting technology away, because technology gets in the way also of connection.
Of
I mean,
course.
we are addicted to the phone. We go everywhere with the phone, and we're checking the phone and the notifications and the
Right.
messages and this and anything that distracts us
Right.
from being connected. So every time that we have dinner, we ask our kids, put the phone away, have a conversation, let's be here together. And a lot of the times technology just distracts us.
Well, and that's even you saying that, like, I think it's so beautiful that we have incorporated that into our family from babies, right? Like, we sat down at the table to have dinner together. And that's something that maybe families nowadays don't take the time to do it. Or when they sit down, they bring the phones with them. And it feels like you're not even eating, or you're not even like having conversations with your family. And I think, again, I don't want to make technology wrong, because, for me, I'm a pencil paper type of girl. Like, I didn't grow up with like phones or technology. That wasn't our era. But I love everything that we could do with our cell phones. Like, I'm always in awe when like I pick up my phone and I could do like 100 million things on it. And I'm like, wow, we could do so much with this at the tip of our hands. Like, just even thinking about like music, right? Like, for us, we grew up in an era where we had to like, if we wanted to record something and listen to it and sing it over and over again, like, you had to be by the radio with the tape recorder ready to,
Record the
record
DJ
in the cassette
that
with
it was
whatever
playing the
song.
song, and then you record it right away.
And you
then-
had to like wait up on like Saturday mornings and record it. And it was like such a like rush just to get the song. And our kids would never know what it is to just go on the Apple
What
or
about the mixtapes?
Spotify.
Remember the mixtape they used to
I
make?
still have it. I still have the tapes, and I still have the recorder because I love to listen to those tapes. Like, I'm reminiscing, right? Like, I go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, this song, I could totally find that song on Apple. Our kids will never know what it is not to have that. So those are like the benefits that I think from technology that we could have from nowadays, like what we have nowadays opposed to what we had before. We didn't have that.
And I think that with the new technology that's coming along, that's what we want to review
crazy.
in this podcast. Like, Vivian, by the way, Vivian doesn't know what we're going to talk about. Like, I want to get your reaction.
You
on
always do
this.
this to me. I don't know why.
I want to get your reaction to this, because I think
Okay.
this is one of the greatest technologies that's come along in a long time.
Okay.
AI, if you guys don't know what AI is, artificial intelligence, there is a website called Chat GPT. Is it Chat? What is it? Chat GPT. Have you heard of Chat?
No.
And it's a artificial intelligence bot that has access to everything in the internet.
Oh,
So
wow.
it has downloaded everything that has been text. It doesn't have audio. It's not audio or video. It's text. So anything that's in the internet that has been written about, that somebody put a blog or a book or anything that has been uploaded, this chatbot, this technology has access to it.
Wow.
So what you do is you actually post a question, and it gives you automatically answers based on the research. So it's not like Google, where you put when you Google something, what does it give you?
I mean, endless amounts of information.
Endless amount of information. You have to do the research.
Right.
You have to do the research yourself. You have to actually go through each website and see which one is the one that is
You
for me,
prefer,
and then you
yeah.
have to do the research. This technology does the research for you.
They're comparing like your patterns, your shopping, your conversations.
Well, it starts to learn. The more you interact with the technology, the more it learns from you.
Okay.
So it's having more of a conversation with the internet as opposed to having a investigation. So
Yeah,
whatever you ask a question,
Okay.
it will give you a text answer. So if you say, I want to write me an essay on how to stay married, and then you put, but I want it in tonality of Abraham Lincoln, and then it tells you as if Abraham Lincoln wrote that essay.
Wow.
Or if you want it to the tonality of Jay-Z or Beyonce,
Okay.
it will write that essay that
Wow,
way.
I love that. I
So-
mean, I'm sure it has a lot of pros and cons. I could just think of a whole bunch of them right now, right? Like how it could understand your patterns and what you want to say, what you want to do. And then at the same time, for me, it's kind of like my privacy of everything that I am, everything that I like.
Well, now it's an internet.
It's out in the open.
So now you're interacting with this technology.
I
and
can't
this
take it
technology
back.
is learning. No,
I
now
can't take it back.
It's learning from you. So it learns
Yeah.
your questions, is learning your habits, learning what you're telling it. So the next time you ask a question, it gives you an answer that is catered to you personally.
So that's so funny because I was looking at some movies. I want to go to the movies with my sister tomorrow. I want to see Whitney Houston. And there was a movie that came up and it's about some AI and they turn it into like, it's some sort of like a little girl or a robot or something. And it learns all this habits and patterns, but all of a sudden it goes rogue and it turns
crazy.
on you,
Yeah.
right? So like that is definitely a con of things that could happen with technology because you don't have control of it.
But this is the beginning. So that's a movie. That's fiction.
Right.
So that's not real. This right here is real. So whatever you're telling it, it
Yeah,
goes
it's
and
understanding it.
researches it all through the internet, and it creates a piece of content just for you. So let's play. I was playing it with it. Before you came into the studio. So I asked it. I just give a simple question. I said, give me date night ideas for a couple that has been married for 23 years and is looking to spice things up in the relationship. So it gave me. I take a cooking class together. I learned how to make new exotic dish. Plan a surprise weekend getaway, nearby city or bed and breakfast, rent a tandem bike for a scenic ride together, take a dance class, learn a new style of dance together, plan a theme night such as 50s dinner or a beach vacation night, go on a wine tasting, to visit a brewery together, try new adventurous activities together like bungee jumping or rock climbing, plan surprise scavenger hunts around the city leading to a special destination or activity, have game night with a twist like game night with sexy steaks, book couples massage or spots together. So
check. What else you got?
So now that's just like a PG, kind of.
Oh, so you could ask it, like you could tell it where do you want it to go.
No. So let's play with it. So like, what is so now that's kind of idea. So how would couples spice things up a little bit deeper? So what's a question that would be specific that you would like to ask it to see if we could get an answer that we could actually, it serves the couples here, it serves today's a date night,
right?
Okay, so why don't we ask?
So what if we weren't doing like a regular date night, because we always do a regular date night, but what if we were doing like a mystery date night or a sex night? I mean, let's keep this, I don't know. Is it like rated R, PG?
Let's talk about that. So how many, give me, Daniel, can you write this down? Based on the book 50 Shades of Grey, what are 3 things you could try
with your spouse?
In a public restaurant. Yeah. Let's see.
This is like a...
Wow, look, use a blindfold during meal. One partner could wear a blindfold while the other one makes suggestions of what they should eat and feed them.
You can whisper dirty talk on your partner's ear.
And it's still going. It's still going. And it's still...
Oh, she liked this question because there's a lot coming up. We can't read this fast. Like, it just
read
went.
the second one. What does it say?
Wow. Whisper dirty talk on your partner. Dirty talk in the partner's ear, describing what they would want them to do to you later. Role play. One partner could dress up in a fantasy outfit and take out a different person, such as a business executive or a French maid, and the other partner could act out a fantasy scenario. I like this. It is important to note that the activities could be considered inappropriate and disrespectful to other guests. Well, I wouldn't be doing some of these things out in public. I mean, you got to be considerate to that. Also, some of these activities may be considered sexual harassment. It is important to have clear communication with your partner and make sure that both are comfortable with the activity before trying it. Consent is always a must when you're in a relationship.
So isn't it cool
Cool idea.
technology, right? Technology that, so now, if how come couples use technology like this, right? Monica was thinking cards, right? Letters. Based on the conversation you had with your coaching client, the husband is not communicating, right? And it's not speaking the right love language,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
So letters, love letters, obviously has to be inspired by you, but also you could actually, get some help from AI. So Daniel, why don't you say, give me a love letter for my wife. Give me a love letter for my wife celebrating our 24th anniversary.
Let's see if it hits on the nail. Wow.
Yep. Today marks the 24th anniversary, and I am filled with so much love and gratitude for the years we have spent together. I cannot believe how fast time has flown, but I am so grateful for every moment we have shared. From the moment I met you, I knew that you were the one for me. Your kind heart, your sense of humor, and your unwavering love have been my rock throughout the years. I am so grateful for the love and support you've given me, and I am in awe of an amazing person that you are. Now let's even go. Give me write this down, Daniel. Give me a verse. A verse from Bad Bunny to sing to my wife.
Oh my goodness!
On her birthday, to sing to my wife on her birthday. Let's see if Bad Bunny is Spanish, so let's say.
Are you actually going to sing it?
Soy tu fan, eres mi diosa, te quiero a ti, no a otra, no me importa lo que diga, eres tú la que me hace gozar.
You're too funny, Raul. So I get where you're going with this. Like, I think, there's so many good things about technology that happens. I think it's the part that happens with us, like the human part in us, that we use it and we don't have boundaries. And I think that's a reflection of how we live life, because sometimes like we don't have like the discipline to just have technology for a certain amount of hours per se, right? Like we overstep those boundaries and we are connected to our phones 24/7. And I know, and I speak to a lot of women that probably the men are not using AI and telling them like love letters or singing or finding ideas. What a lot of them are doing is finding other things like pornography, like some other sort of like sexual desire. Those are just like the extremes, right? Or you're just stuck on Facebook or Instagram or looking at other people's profiles instead of using it for its good.
What I think with this using technology is they're creative. Like what do we lack? We lack creativity, right?
Yeah.
So now we could use technology to help us become more creative, to become more interesting, to become more, to have more awareness of what we could do. I think it could really, AI could do a lot of things.
Yes, it can. But is it always used for
how
good?
you use it? Is the user that dictates the technology.
Right.
Until it learns by itself and, takes over the world and kills every human. But
because you know what, too, like technology, like I always tell my kids this all the time. I'm like, you could use technology to learn stuff. Like, we talk about marriages and we talk about relationships all the time. And I'm always in awe of how much information is out there and how much you could read and how much you could learn and how much stuff that you could implement. Yes, so few of us actually learn and implement. We're reading, we're looking, we're scrolling, but we're not doing the things that we need to do.
Part of in success, they teach the foundation of success when it comes to companies, right? And one of the foundations of being successful in a company is being curious. When a company stops being curious, stops innovating. When a company stops innovating, it begins to die. In a marriage, if you stop being curious, you're bored.
That's
I
right.
mean, perfect example. Like, what's the favorite song that you love right now that you always like?
The one from Shakira?
From Shakira, right?
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
Monotony.
It's
the routine.
The same thing, the routine. What killed her? What killed her relationship with
No fue culpa tuya.
Yeah. He said it's the fault of
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault, but it was the routine that we fell into.
It was a routine that killed us. So
yeah,
I think that with technology, with anything, is just being curious. Can you be curious about what you could do? Can you be curious? I mean, I love this stuff. When something new comes up, like I love, the one thing I did when social media came out in 2005 or 2006. You know how long it took this chatbot to get 1 million users?
no.
It was
Technology.
It was less than it was less than a week. Actually, what was it, Daniel? Exactly. I think it was like 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. 5 hours.
So people knew about it and everybody wanted to chime in and be part of it. Is that what you're saying?
To get users, to log in, to get a user.
Yeah.
It took Facebook about a year. It took Twitter 2.5 years to get 1 million users.
Yeah.
It took Instagram 2.5 months. What's the exact time, Daniel? No, it was under Google that right now. How long did it take ChatGPT to get 1 million? GPT to get 1 million subscribers. 5 days. 5 days.
5 days.
5 days to get 1 million. So when social media came out, I was like, I don't want to be in Facebook. I don't want to. Who's gonna be in social media? Who's gonna use it? Who wants to take pictures of their meals or pictures wherever they are? Right. I was that guy who's pushing technology away. Yeah. As I've learned to adapt technology, to embrace technology, man, I wouldn't have this business if I didn't have technology. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if technology wasn't there. So now we have to embrace technology and look at it, man. This AI, this is kind of like the beginning stages of what's possible.
Right.
This is the beginning stages of what the creativity could as creators, man. Like the sky's the limit. It's only the questions that we have to ask the AI that's going to give us the answers that we're looking for.
I agree. There's a lot of great things and there's a lot of benefits from technology, but I also think we should really be mindful again of how we are overusing it. One of the things that we always do, like we said, even on date night, right? I hate it when sometimes you're on your phone answering messages or people are reaching out to you because it's my time. We deserve our connection. And as much as technology connects people from far places and medical and all this stuff that it's so good, things that have evolved so quickly, it doesn't take away from the connection that we need to have on the physical level, on the spiritual level, that you cannot find on your phone ever. I mean, of course, yes, you could find some spiritual, you could find God anywhere, you could find love anywhere. But if you already have someone with you, in front of you, whether it's your kids or your spouse, your parents, just giving them your undivided attention.
And that can never be replaced by AI.
By a phone.
That can never be replaced by technology.
No, it cannot.
That's the part that we have to understand, the human aspect of us.
Yeah.
The connection, the conversation. Technology cannot replace those things.
Ever.
And the more and more we start getting involved with technology and AI and everything else, we always have to remember the human touch. The physical
it can never
touch,
be replaced.
The connection, the energy that you feel when you're around human beings, that's the value. That's the important part.
I know.
That's what people want.
And I think
presence.
Right. And I think we experienced a lot of that when, everything happened with COVID, how we were so connected through Zoom. And even when we had to see our doctors, it was through, a health, through Zoom and everything got done through technology. And I love that. I'm so appreciative of that part, but it doesn't take away from everything else that we do face to face, through a physical touch, through connection, because that's what we're wired for. We would not live life without that.
We have to build a connection with the people around us and use technology to enhance that connection.
I love that. Enhance
it. If we are not connected, we're gonna start looking for anything to feel that connection. If you look at social media, how TikTok is running the show with our kids, is because our kids are looking for connection. They don't get connection with their parents. Mm-hmm. They want connection with somebody in social media. So men or women who look at porn, they're not connected with their partners. They're looking for a connection somewhere else, right?
Right.
So ultimately what we're looking for is connection. Technology will enhance our connection or it will take our connection away from ourselves, and we get lost in the web. We get lost in
Agreed.
that world.
That's so true.
So I
That's
believe
so true.
technology could spice up your relationship. Ask the right questions. You
Do the
get
right
some
things.
answers. Use the tools that you have available for you to just enhance the spice of life. Get curious.
As in everything, I think if you use it to your benefit, it will enhance who you are.
Money, technology, influence, all those things enhance who you are.
That's right.
They don't make you who you are. They just enhance who you are.
I love that.
You make money, and you're the same person with money or without money. It just enhances who you are.
Yes, I agree.
Technology, you'll be the same person with technology, without technology. It just enhances who you are. Work on yourself. Work on who you are as a human being, and start using those tools to enhance the best version of you.
Let's see if anybody has questions. Complacency in marriage is dangerous. 6 weeks, 6 months, 10 years. It does not matter. Good court, it should never end. That's right. It should never end. If you do what you did at the beginning, you will never have an end. And we love technology, but you got to love each other so much more. I think that's one of the things for me. It's like, I love everything that technology brings, but there is nothing that compares to the love that I want to show you.
If I get stuck in an island, I choose to stay on with you without the phone. I choose that all the time. Okay. So thank you for following us in this podcast. Send us your questions for next time. Go ahead and check out the ChatGPT. Put some actually ask some questions in there, and they'll probably give you better answers than us. This is going to replace a lot of podcasters too. It's probably going to replace a lot of content creators if they don't come up with new ways and creative ways to bring value to them.
Yeah, but that, I feel like it could never replace the experience that we've gone through. Like, we're teaching from experience. This is like 23 years in the making. I don't know where they're getting that information from.
We'll see. We'll put this technology to the test with Vivian.
Okay, fine.
Love it. Follow us,
Yes.
subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Learn it,
Live it, experience it, love life.
If you receive any value from this conversation, comment, subscribe, and share as we continue to impact more people and take them to the next level.
And please send us your comments and questions so we could answer them in the next podcast.
See you in the next episode.